stunning. A registered child sex offender facing 20 charges now. A lot of people at home watching this may wonder how we got to the point where a registered child sex offender can gain access to a girls' locker room at a high school aquatic facility simply by claiming to be transgender.
Well, as often happens in these types of cases.
Because it really is stunning. A registered child sex offender facing 20 charges now for allegedly exposing himself multiple times to women and young girls in locker rooms at high schools across Arlington County, Virginia.
This man need his ass kicked. He like Howard Stern or something. This motherfucker really need his ass kicked.
And the area's transgender policies may have paved the way for him to do it. Let's bring in the Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares. Mr. Attorney General.
There's no may have. It's either it paved the way or it didn't.
General, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. A lot of people at home watching this may wonder how we got to the point where a registered child sex offender can gain access to a girls' locker room at a high school aquatic facility simply by claiming to be transgender.
That's crazy.
Well, as often happens in these types of cases, you hear these stories and you think, how in the world did this happen?
Yeah.
And this happened because you had certain local, in this case, a local Commonwealth's attorney in Fairfax, who views himself more as a social worker than a prosecutor. And so back in June of last year, months before these incidences in Arlington, this individual, as noted, was a registered Tier 3 sex offender, the highest level for indecent.
The highest level. This motherfucker looks nothing like a female. What'd he do? Put his hand in a ponytail with some goddamn makeup on? This is fucking ridiculous, bro. I don't never, say, oh, you should unalive somebody. Never. Because of their sexual preference and stuff like that, or how they want to live their life. But this motherfucker need to be, you already know.
For indecent liberties with a child, a criminal conviction, a felony conviction dating back to the 1990s.
Who he gonna get it in prison? He is gonna get it, boy.
Exposed himself. Those charges were later dropped. But the reality is, because he's a Tier 3 registered sex offender, he's not allowed within 100 feet of a daycare or center or a school. Guess what? Right next to that Planet Fitness was a daycare center.
Wow.
They
daycare.
Prosecuted him on a felony in June. He was allowed to be back on the street. And as a result, he exposed himself to a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, multiple individuals, and now he's facing
a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, my G. That's ridiculous. A 9-year-old and a 5-year-old. This is the society that Biden has created. I hate to say it. This is what they created.
Facing multiple charges in Arlington. But this is what happens when local prosecutors fall through the cracks and local government, in this case in Fairfax.
What do you mean local prosecutors fall through the cracks? Like, people voted for these people. They get these people in the office. What do you mean they fell through the cracks? The government has failed the people right here. If you had a piece of shit, like, look at this man. Virginia Department of Corrections. That, like, Department of Corrections, is that his mug? That's not a mug shot. He's not in orange or in green on state clothing. What the fuck is that about?
Specifically allowed a policy that allowed individuals like him, a biological male, to freely walk in and use the women's restroom.
As you said, there's quite a history with this fella. And in terms of Arlington Public Schools and their facilities, it didn't happen.
What you mean with this fella? With this, that fella goes by lady.
Just once. It happened on multiple occasions, including the Barcroft Sports and Fitness Center, the Washington Liberty High School, and Wakefield High School.
Oh my God.
Parents had alerted the school board about earlier incidents, but it appeared to fall on deaf ears. Here's what WJLA, one of the local affiliates, reported. Quote, the mother said she spoke to Arlington County School Board member Mary Cadera about the situation in September of 2024. And Cadera's solution was to add signage encouraging people to be considerate of others, to cover private parts in locker rooms and to observe locker room etiquette.
Yeah, sounds like a lawsuit and a firing. Yeah, I can smell it. Yeah, I smell it. I smell a lawsuit and someone getting fired. Like, I don't even want to talk about this story anymore. This is fucking absolutely ridiculous. It's disgusting. Everybody that dropped the ball needs to be penalized. That man needs to be in prison, and you know what needs to happen to him. This is disgusting. This is where the country's going to, though, too, man. This is what the country's going to. Luckily, we got Trump in office. And you know what's crazy?
Attorney General, what about the
you know what's crazy? In certain states, like in California, they were trying to call like pedophilia like a mental disease or something like that. Now, that may very much be true, but they, instead of putting these people who need to be in prison, they were just gonna give them a mental home. Have them work on it. Talk about their problems. But that's neither here or there. I'm gonna end this disgusting story, man. Hope he gets what he got coming. Hope that man has I hope that man has the day that he deserves. KJ Media 100. I'm out.